Gerald, first training camp here. How are things going for you so far with the new team?
Everything's going pretty good. Everybody's flying around. Seems like we're clicking on all cylinders. First day of pass tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited for that.
New guy on a raw team, someone to kind of take a step back and let other guys lead. But given your familiarity with Shane and Andy and maybe some of the offense, you feel like you're kind of taking on a little bit of a leadership role?
For sure. Being it's my 5th year in the league, I definitely am embracing the leadership role, and being it's a new team and a new city. I mean, it's not really a factor to me. Just trying to come out and be that player that I've always been, and the player that they made me come here to be, or wanted me to come here and be.
Gerald, going into the offensive flow, seeing how the guys are here on personal practice, what excites you about what this whole thing might potentially be?
We're trying to chase that Lombardi. If anybody tells you anything different, they're wrong. And we're coming to work, trying to compete to our best capabilities, and just bring our hard hats to work every day and just see what comes out of it.
Sometimes it takes a long time for new receivers to get chemistry with the quarterback. It seems like you and Russ have been hooking up a lot in the last few practices. Where do you think that's at right now at the state?
Well, I think we all are trying to develop some kind of camaraderie and some kind of chemistry. But Russ and I have definitely been clicking since back in April and June. Over the summer, going out to San Diego and just throwing routes and leading to training camp just feels good. Having a guy that can be anything really, a dual threat quarterback.
What do you know about him now that you maybe didn't know about Russ when you were on the other side there?
Just his work ethic. Playing with the Rams for the past 4 years. I mean, you see the plays in the late fourth quarters, and him, Tyler, him, DK hooking up, and just putting them back on top, and it's just it's frustrating from the other side. But being here and seeing how he really works up close in person, it's a sight to see.
In what ways is this training camp different for you from any other?
The 12s for one. Not having to drive way across town and stay in a hotel. It definitely alleviates a lot of stress and pain. And just having everything in house here is definitely a benefit.
How similar, is this offense really similar to what you knew with the Rams? Is this offense really similar to what you knew with the Rams, or are there a lot of differences or some tweaks?
Yeah, somewhat. I'll have to say 50-50, honestly, but, it's a lot of intricacies and it's a lot of details that you definitely have to be keyed in on, but there's some similarities, but you look around the league, every offense is running something of the same.
How do you think Shane's adapted to the coordinator?
I think Shane's always, had that responsibility in him. Even in LA, he was more so the OC. I mean, McVay, he had the head coach duties, but Shane was the one in the box, calling the plays and, reading the defenses. So in practice, I mean, I saw who he was, but, now that he's here in Seattle with me, he's definitely going to step into that role.
We've seen some freakishly athletic plays from DK in the past. Just being with him now and seeing him every day, what kind of impression has he made on you?
He's a great guy off the field, even better guy on the field. And, he's definitely a young player that's going to be great in this league for years to come.
Did you say Shane was calling plays in
LA?
Correct.
But the three-step motion, it seemed like a big staple of those Rams offenses, and it seems like there's a lot of that here. What does that do for you guys?
For us as a team or me individually?
For the team, what does it accomplish?
Oh, it definitely makes us unpredictable. Something that Seattle struggled with last year as an offense. Just, teams started to be able to kind of key in on DK and Tyler and, kind of double both of those guys, and it just left nothing for the offense to gain. So, it's the reason why I'm here, and it's the reason why Shane's here, and we're definitely going to, make that a crucial thing to improve on.
How much does the tempo part of it help the offense as well?
Oh, everybody being in shape and, just not knowing how fast the game plan or the game flow will be. It's just definitely going to keep defense on their toes and not know really who the game plan and what the game plan for.
Oh my God!
Anything else, guys?
What are your impressions?
Say it again.
What are your impressions of the other guys on the tight end? What kind of time?
Those guys, that's a funny group of guys. It's a funny thing you ask. Will and Kobe, we've been clicking ever since I signed, and even down in San Diego, we spent some time, went and got some food and just got to know one another. And, even with the younger guys, just trying to make everybody better, and even myself, we're all students of the game, and we're going to continue to be that.
We didn't see much of Colby
Last year, what do you think he adds to that group?
Oh man, you see his size, so we definitely want to hone in on that with him, and definitely use that to his best capabilities.
Basketball help you, Gerald, in the NFL?
Say it again.
How does basketball help you in the NFL?
Well, it depends. It's definitely circumstantial and it's different for each player. But for me personally, just being a vertical player and explosive player that I am, I definitely think basketball helped me with that quick burst.
Anything else, guys? Thank you, Gerald.